222.
You are watching Sports and Sorts live on YouTube. That's 75% sports, 25% sorts. And here are your hosts, Shane and the Bry Man.
Yeah, we are back. It is a Monday morning, and it is a very interesting morning because some interesting stuff happened over the weekend, and we are looking forward to talking about it. We got some NFL recap for Week 9. We got some NFL picks for Week 10. We also are going to be talking about the MLB because obviously the Braves are now the world champs, and they have not been the world's champs for a long time, but the Bry Man's wish of this scenario played out.
It was essentially as close to the best case scenario that, I mean, obviously outside of the Yankees winning, this was pretty much the second best case scenario.
The Red Sox get bounced out.
The Astros lose in the World Series and at home, which makes it even better. And you know what? The Braves, I mean, listen, I don't have anything bad to say about the Braves. I know people wanted to go after them for the chop still being a thing. And, the woke mob is going after the Braves. And that's whatever. I mean, listen, I'm a Florida State fan, okay? And I'll be the first to tell you, if I was in Joe Campbell Stadium and that whole place was doing the chop, I'd probably be involved in it. I'm not going to say I wouldn't. I mean, you can say whatever you want about the chop. But I don't know. Listen, I don't want to be overly woke about it. I mean, I think let's put it this way. I think there are a lot worse things going on in the world than the tomahawk chop.
It's true. I mean, you can replace it. It's pretty easy.
I mean, look, if we're talking about the Confederate flag, yeah, that fucking shit is racist and it needs to go. Yeah. I don't know where the tomahawk chop falls in the pantheon of really offensive shit. You know, yeah. I mean, listen, if the Seminoles said, all right, we're getting rid of it, and the Braves said, all right, we're getting rid of it too, I mean, okay, then do it. Just do it then. Yeah. The problem is, I don't know how you stop fans from doing it. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to kick 100,000 people out of a building?
No.
It's hard to enforce.
It is tough. It is. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. I don't know the racist act behind it. I don't know if it's like, I have no idea. I don't know the background about it, so I can't really comment on it too much. But I'd be fine if they got rid of it. I'd be fine. I'm kind of fine if they keep it. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really bother me. It's always been kind of like a thing where they all kind of came together. So I think that's a positive thing. I don't know. Yeah.
I understand something like changing the name of the Redskins, right? That's offensive. I get that.
Yes.
The same thing. The Cleveland Indians one I still struggle with a little bit because
my son was like, he said, why didn't the Washington team just name themselves the Washington Natives? I was like, that's actually not pretty bad. That's pretty good.
That actually would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, all right. Yeah. Like, good. That's great.
I mean, how come Cleveland couldn't just become the Tribe? How about the Cleveland Tribe? Yeah. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
What are they? The Guardians? Oh, yeah. God, that's bad.
It's not great.
The Cleveland Guardians.
It's not great. Like, even like there was like all team names like out there for like the Red Tails and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the Red Tails
that was cool.
I think that's what the Redskins should have done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they may still. That name still has not been decided. Right. I don't think it's. Although, no, wait a minute. No, wait. Isn't there like a final 5? Right. That's actually not one of them.
That's too bad.
It's down to like 5. I know, because that would have been like was such a slam dunk because that's taking that. You're taking it from one extreme and like correcting it.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't. Daniel Snyder just could not find it in himself to do it. But the thing I don't understand about that is that would have been really cool from like a logo perspective too. Mm-hmm. The Red Tails.
Yeah.
Would have been really very marketable.
Yes.
I don't know. The one thing I hope is that the Redskins keep their helmets because I love the helmets with the numbers on them. But I doubt that. I'm sure they'll go to I'm sure they'll put the logo of the team on the helmet.
Yeah.
But I love the number. I've always been a fan of the number on the helmet, though. I think that's so cool.
All right. Yeah, so the Braves win. Obviously, there was some controversy around there. You had Trump there doing the tomahawk chop and everything too. So there's lots of
his
controversy going on around there.
Which we talked about last week.
Yeah, and oh man, that was fantastic.
That was great.
But anyway, so congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. That was a unexpected but well-deserved run.
Unbelievable run when you consider the division that they were in and how bad that division was.
And they lost Acuna.
88-win team.
And they lost the best player and one of the best players in baseball. Like
I saw something that was really cool the other day. I don't know how true this. I didn't look it up, so if it's not legit, I apologize. But so I guess there was this whole kind of like fun sort of Hank Aaron related homage in terms of so they won 88 games, right?
Yeah.
From what I understand, they won 44 games in the first half. They won 44 games in the second half, and he wore number 44.
Right.
And there were a couple of other things in there too, and I can't remember them off the top of my head, but there were a couple other like sort of spooky 44 Hank Aaron related things in there that I thought was kind of funny.
All right.
But you know what? It was great though, them honoring his wife, having her there as part of the festivities, and yeah, I'm happy for the Braves. They, regardless of how you feel about the voter suppression issue that took place and them stripping the All-Star game from Atlanta, this was the Braves' revenge, I guess you could say.
I guess, yeah.
A big. You know what? The one person who should be most thankful that the Braves won on the road is Rob Manfred. Because if that clinching game was won in Atlanta and he was out there, and as it is, he got booed just by the Braves fans who were in Houston to celebrate it. But if you had 40 to 45,000 Braves fans just raining down on him as he's handing the trophy over to the Braves owner, oh my God, that would have been a nightmare for him. I mean, he may have passed Gary Bettman as the worst commissioner in sports, and maybe even Goodell too. But man, and that's saying something because there's some bad commissioners in pro sports these days. So,
sure.
But hey, hats tip of the cap to the Braves. Congratulations, and thank you so much for eliminating Houston. thank you for not letting them celebrate a championship, because it would have just been the biggest slap in the face to Major League Baseball and any fans outside of the state of Texas. It really would have been.
All right.
So, thanks.
So, yes, congratulations to the Braves. But we have a lot of NFL to kind of touch on. We also have a couple of movies that we're going to touch on as well. I know I talked about Free Guy last week, but Brian Mann has watched it since then. So we will talk about that at the end. I believe, I don't know if we talked about Vacation Friends as the movie after like reviewing it, because I watched it like the week it came out. I finally watched it. I thought it was pretty darn funny, but we'll talk because Brian Mann watched it over the weekend as well. So we'll touch on that a little bit at the end as well. Because if it's something that you haven't watched, he'll give his opinion and I can re-give my opinion if we haven't. I know we talked about the trailer for sure, but I'm just not sure if we talked about the actual movie or not.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll touch on that as well also. So let's get right into it. We're going to go right into the NFL. So let me pull up the old little clip here. Because we have some NFL to touch on, and that is starting off with Mr. Qaron Rodgers. That's with a Q.
With a Q.
Qaron Rodgers. I have a decently strong opinion on this. My whole opinion is, if you don't want to get vaccinated, fine. Don't get vaccinated. If you're worried about it, don't get vaccinated. But, make sure you wear a mask if you're going to be out in public and with people, because you don't want to give it to other people. That's just terrible. And now, that Pfizer's come out with this new pill and everything like that. The people that don't get, the vaccine, why they're willing to take the pill and not the vaccine. That's all, whatever. That's just another whole conversation to be had.
Is the pill officially available yet?
It's not. They're appealing. But there's Merck pill right now, which is 50%. But Pfizer is 89%. Yeah. Okay. And if you catch it within the 3 to 5 day window. it's important to get tested. That's the thing. Is like if you think you have it, go get tested. So this way you can get that pill when it's available, or you can get the, any kind of Regeneron or whatever, cocktail that's out there right now to kind of help you get over it as quick as possible, because those side effects that are coming along with this thing after the fact.
Long COVID?
Well, not just long COVID. I mean, just the stats that are like, 50% greater chance of heart attack, like all of those things, like it is intense. Some of the stuff that's following up, but regardless, my biggest problem with Aaron Rodgers here, and I'm sure you're probably feeling a similar way, is he is the biggest douche in the world for not coming clean. Like, you do not say that you're immunized if you're not like actually immunized. Like, you have to be vaccinated or you had gotten COVID in order to do that. Like, you need to come clean with what's going on. Don't be vague and beat around the bush and all that kind of stuff, because you are putting so many people in harm's way. He's in there spitting at everybody in the huddle, when he's yelling and screaming all the plays. And, there's fans in the stadium, those people that he was yelling at in the huddle are now going into the stands and giving people footballs and all that kind of stuff. Now that can spread all throughout the whole stadium. Like, granted, there's a good majority of people in the United States who are vaccinated. It's a very high number of people that are vaccinated, but still. That is absolutely the dumbest and most selfish thing that he could have possibly done.
Well, we're in complete agreement. Yes, my biggest issue was the same as yours. Essentially, was that he lied. He was lying, and he didn't need to lie. That's the weird part. Like, if you look at the way Kirk Cousins handled this, I mean, listen, is it ideal that he's not vaccinated? In my opinion, no. But you know what? He made that choice. But you know what Kirk Cousins did do? He owned it, and he was like, I'm not vaccinated, but I'm following every other NFL protocol. Yeah. I'm masking where I need to. I'm getting tested, before games, just to, to ensure that I'm not in a huddle screaming at people and spittle going everywhere and infecting other people. So even though I may not agree with Kirk Cousins and, his religious exemption or whatever it is that he's leaning on, at least he had the stones to come out and say, I'm not vaccinated, but I'm going to follow every protocol. And guess what, dude? It has not been a story since. Have you heard Kirk Cousins' name come up at all in the last few weeks after that whole thing? No. He took a little bit of heat on social media and maybe even a little bit of heat from the media. And then after that, gone. Because he owned it. He came right out and was accountable for it. And Aaron Rodgers lied. That's the problem. Yeah. I'm with you. If you want to get vaccinated, great. Thank you. Appreciate you doing your part to help, to help society. If you don't, okay, it's your right. I disagree with it, but it's your right. But don't fucking lie about it. Don't lie about it. That's just the word. I mean, that is just, like you said, he put people in harm's way. He did. He's endangered other people. And then he's brazen about it by holding his, fucking Halloween party dressed like John Wick and he lied. And here's the kicker. His doctor is apparently Dr. Joe Rogan. So he went and took advice from maybe one of the biggest fucking clowns on the face of God's green earth. And that guy, I mean, I consulted my friend Joe Rogan and I had 500 pages of research. Yeah, I'm sure you read 500 pages of research. This is my favorite thing about the anti-vaxxer crowd is they're doing their independent research. Yeah. Why do you need to do any sort of independent research? Why can't you just look at the fact that scientists, the most trusted scientists around the globe,
is he going to go to Joe Rogan when he gets his his Achilles ruptured, or when he gets the concussion? Is he going to Joe Rogan?
Dr. Rogan, Aaron Rodgers pulled his hamstring. Yeah. Dr. Rogan.
What do we do? What do we do, Joe? What do we do? Right. Rub some Epsom salt on it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, don't get surgery because you know what'll happen here, and they'll put you under, and then they'll vaccinate you while you're under. Oh, Joe Rogan.
Some of the, I will say, he is an entertaining personality, but not always in a good way. Like, he does stuff to really aggravate people. Joe Rogan does.
Which is, I think, part of his whole shit.
It is, and that's fine. It's fine. I mean,
he appeals to the far right, whether that was his intention or not. He does.
Yeah.
Listen, I've listened to some of Joe Rogan Experience podcasts. I actually love what he does, like the interviews with guys like what's his name there, the alien guy, Bob Lazar, right? Like I loved those. Oh my God, I was like, but I'm a big UFO enthusiast, so that really appealed to me.
Right.
It wasn't so much about Rogan as it was about the guy he was interviewing, but I mean, listen, Joe Rogan is not without talent. He's not like a no talent ass clown. He's just an ass clown. But I mean, let's face it. Like, sorry, you can't be getting medical advice from that guy, Aaron. That's not Karen. That's not who you go to for that. Why can't you trust? There's such a big distrust in science these days.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so baffled by it. I'm so baffled by it. I just don't understand.
Everybody's questioning facts and all that kind of stuff. It's just.
But then they come up with their own facts. They go out and they do research. I forgot what the clinical term for this is. There's a psychological term for this, for what this is. Maybe you know it, but it's when you do research and you find the facts that align with your beliefs, and that's what they go. And then they roll with it. Well, okay, I found exactly what I was looking for from whatever source it may be, and now I'm going to dig in on this, and I'm going to push this boulder down the hill as fast as I can, because I found the thing that speaks to me and that I agree with, and so these are now my facts. It's sad because, and you know what? And here's the other shitty part about the whole Aaron Rodgers saga. He's not going to really be punished. He might get fined. Yeah. He will not be suspended. They've already said he will not be suspended for this. But if it had been anybody, I don't want to say anybody else, but let's just say if it was your average, I don't know, safety, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, they'd be gone.
You know what's crazy?
They'd be gone.
Now, this is a little bit of a stretch, but not too much of a stretch. But I would say what Colin Kaepernick did was nowhere near as bad as what Aaron Rodgers did.
It wasn't bad at all.
Exactly. Like, he did nothing but try and stand up for some rights.
And he is in exile.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers, who lied to everyone.
But Aaron Rodgers is a white man who dresses up like John Wick. Right. And so I guess that makes everything all white, doesn't it? Fucking Aaron Rodgers. You know what? And I have multiple times on this show referred to Aaron Rodgers as quirky. Now he's just a fucking idiot. You could just remove the quirky label. He's just a dumb fuck. And the thing I hate most about this is that he was on Pat McAfee's show wearing his Doc Holliday t-shirt that said "Say When," and that annoys the shit out of me because, one, I love Doc Holliday, and now I feel like I can't like him anymore. I have 2 Doc Holliday t-shirts. No, I have a Doc Holliday t-shirt that says "Say When" on it, and I have a Doc Holliday sweatshirt that says "I'm your Huckleberry." Because I love the fucking movie and the character. It's such a great. This idiot's trying to make a statement out of it, like "Say When," like, okay, tough guy, you want to take on the world? Okay, here you go. You've got it. And then, of course, he dove right in to the far right playbook, right? He pulled out every keyword you could ask for. He was, what did he do? He talked about the woke mob. He talked about cancel culture. He pulled out everything from that far right playbook that you could possibly imagine. Every term, every phrase that you could possibly want, Aaron Rodgers pulled right for it. Of course, then he was like, "Oh, but you won't see me on any political shows. I won't be going on Fox News or MSNBC or CNN." He's like, I'm my own guy, kind of thing. No, you're not. You're just another idiot. You're just another anti-science, anti-vax idiot. You're Kyrie Irving, basically.
Ronnie Pirro was actually, he posted on here. He said he's always been a D-bag, but this is on a new level. That was the first comment.
He has always been a D-bag.
And he's always, but you could always make an argument that he's just quirky. Like, he's a little quirky personality. You could make an argument for that. But now I feel like there's no real argument. No. It's like, no, he's just a douchebag. Like, again, he's funny sometimes, but he's just a douchebag.
And listen, just to go back to the original point, I think both of our biggest beef with him is the lying, because it put people's lives in danger.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to. That's the crazy part. He could have just said, when the question was originally asked of him, "Are you vaccinated?" Yeah, I'm immunized.
Yeah.
He could have just said, no, I'm not, but I'm following NFL protocol.
Right.
For non-vaccinated people. Boom, that's it. Issue over. That's it. It's done. It's forgotten. And you're probably still playing. Well, maybe not. But he still could have gotten COVID. And he would have been out. And that's why he's out. But if he actually was following NFL protocol, though, and masking where he needed to, I mean, listen, again, these guys have off-the-field lives, too, so it's certainly possible you could get COVID in a number of different places and settings. But
it's amazing that Deshaun Watson didn't get it. Oh,
my God. The amount of fingers up his asshole, I mean, I don't know how the fuck he avoided any of it. I mean, just unbelievable. But, I mean, maybe he's had it. In which case, he probably has herd immunity just from the sheer quantity of. Never mind, it's not important. But what's important is that Aaron Rodgers is now just officially a douchebag. He's not just a quirky douchebag. He's just a douchebag.
Yes.
And that's all I've got to say about that.
All right, so we'll move on from there. Let's get into our little week 9 recap. Brian and I, we had the Thursday night, Sunday night, and game of the week last week. We got Thursday night football was Jets at Colts, and we both picked the Colts. We both picked the Colts to win pretty handily, and they pretty much did. So that was a win for both of us. And Sunday night football, we both picked the Rams over the Titans. And man, that Titans offense and defensive lines, they are really good.
Their defense is unexpectedly good.
Yeah, I mean, I had said it last week that their defense is good. I said it against the Bills too. I had said their defense is good, and that's why the Bills always struggle against them. They do well against Josh Allen. And Josh Allen had another terrible week this week, but the Rams
Could somebody tell Dolphins fans, by the way, that quarterbacks in the NFL are actually allowed to have off weeks? It does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua throws one interception, and you would think the fucking sky is falling on Twitter.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill did not have a great game yesterday. I mean, he threw for 100.
He didn't.
He threw for 150 yards, and he threw a pick, and he rushed for a touchdown.
No, he didn't. Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of a typical Ryan Tannehill bad game.
His numbers are clearly better when Henry is there. But the whole mob, let's see how Ryan Tannehill does without Derrick Henry mob. Well, you know what? The ultimate result is he won the game.
Yeah.
So.
And their offensive defensive line are really good. I mean, it's just both sides.
Well, their offensive lines for years have been good.
Yeah.
Because they know how to build an offensive line.
Well, they have one of the best running backs who they want to try and keep healthy as much as possible.
Right.
But he is not. That guy doesn't shy away from contact, so he's going to get hurt. And now, I mean, even their backup running backs played pretty well yesterday. So I mean, Adrian Peterson got a touchdown. I mean, it's just that team is just a very good. Right in the center of their core, which is their lines. They just have a really good offense and defensive line.
This is the one thing I do love about the NFL is that it never ceases to surprise you. Because there were some games yesterday that you're like, Jesus, how? If the Bears go and beat the Steelers tonight, that would be another how? How did that even really happen? But there were some head scratch. I mean, listen, the Jacksonville Buffalo game. I mean, Buffalo, find your offense for fuck's sake. I mean, all the Jags got was 3 field goals. You couldn't top that.
Well, I mean, come on. Allen kept on throwing picks or fumbling the ball. He fumbled.
I know it was just
bad.
Again, listen. Sometimes teams have. That's why there's the slogan "Any Given Sunday" because you just don't know. I mean, that is the beauty of the NFL, right? I mean, that's one of the things with baseball, when you have a long series and it's a 7-game series, in general, the better team wins because it allows itself to play out. But man, any one game is all it takes in the NFL. You're off for that one game and that's it, And the Dolphins and the Bills now get to both say, hey, we both lost to the really shitty Jags team. How did exactly that happen? I mean, unbelievable.
And that's another thing. This is my biggest problem with the Bills right now is that they have a hard time in close games. And, this is a game that they should have been able to come back and win. And they just couldn't get the ball they couldn't even really kick field goals. I mean, they had 2 field goals. I mean, it was a bad game. It was a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it's just bad form all around. And then listen, I mean, as far as the Titans rolling into LA and beating the 7-1 Rams without your best player, that's an impressive. And to do it by double digits, to win the game by 12.
And the Rams started off looking really good. They started the game looking really good. I mean, they kind of just they moved the ball right down the field, and then the Titans just kept on chipping away. And like a good team would. And that was with Brown missing a couple of easy catches. Yeah, he drops a lot of balls, which was good for me, by the way, from a fantasy perspective, because I was going up against the guy who had him, and now I have a 3-point lead going into tonight, and I have Deontay Johnson, and he has the Steelers defense, so I'm in decent shape. I don't want to. I'm not claiming anything yet, but I'm in decent shape. I have a narrow lead, and it's going to be tough round. All right, so we also had the game of the week, which was really, if we had known who was going to be quarterbacking for that game, we probably would not have called it game of the week. Actually, interestingly enough, looking back on it, I might have gone with Bengals-Browns, but that was a blowout too. We talked about that. We also talked about the Titans-Rams because there was 2 games, but that was a Sunday Night Football. We were going to talk about it anyway. So, and again, that Bengals-Browns game, another example of you expected the Bengals to win that game, and the Browns trounced them. Yeah, trounced them. The Browns they're a Jekyll and Hyde team. There are days when that team looks like they could win a Super Bowl running away, and then there are other games where they're like, oh, there they are. They could be a top. Browns. They could be a top 7 pick. That's what they are. So the game of the week for us was Packers at Chiefs. Yeah. I picked the Chiefs to win 28-25. You picked the Packers to win 34-23. Douchebag would be playing. So. And I got that one right. You got that one wrong. So I went 2-1 this week. You went 1-2. It's up another game on me. I picked up another game. Yeah, I am. Run away and hide on me. Let me see where I'm at. I'm at 20-5 this year, and you're at 16-9, which also is pretty good. I mean, I'm 7 games over. I mean, if this were a baseball season, I'd be off to a great start. Yeah. 16-9, nobody would argue with that. All right, so now this week, I can actually pull up the games. We didn't actually talk about this ahead of time, which games we were going to have for like the games of the week and all that kind of stuff. So, but before we do that, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Like do you have any other rants or anything that you want to? Not a rant, but there was something I saw, just to shift gears quickly back to baseball real quick. So I guess Carlos Correa was in New York this weekend I think it was for either a boxing or an MMA fight. I think it was boxing. Maybe the Canelo fight, right? I think Canelo fought this weekend. At any rate, though, he was in New York City, so he took like a selfie with like Madison Square Garden behind him. And of course, he was wearing like a Yankees navy colored jacket. Almost looked like, it looked like some kind of a high school Letterman's jacket, to be honest. But, but it was funny. It got Twitter all up in a tizzy about, he's not just there for a boxing match. He's there to talk turkey with Brian Cashman. And my God, I have to tell you, listen, I can't remember where you stood on this. I know you're not a big Corey Seager guy because of his injury history. But so I have to tell you, I don't want Carlos Correa anywhere near a Yankee uniform. It's not that I'm a Corey Seager guy. I love Corey Seager. No, that you're not the injury history scares you. That is what scares me. Is that I don't think he's worth $300 million. That's my problem. Is with his injury past, spending $300 million on a guy who averages about 100 games a year, that's scary to me. Now, I understand. That is fine. But if you're asking me I had this, and I thought it was funny because I was, because I've come on here and I have made the argument against Corey Seager, but it's not so much against Corey Seager. It's just the price that it costs to get Corey Seager. So I had actually gotten in a couple debates with people because they were talking about Correa being a Yankee. And I said, oh God, please no. I do not want that guy. He is the biggest self-centered douchebag. Well, who's now been dethroned for Aaron Rodgers. This guy, he is like that overconfident, like just douche. Like he is just so overconfident. And whether it's deserved or not, I feel like it's not.
he's the guy who cheats and owns it, but
Right.
owns it to the extent where he rubs it in your face.
Right.
That's a different sort of ownership. It's not an accountability.
He is
ownership.
cocky, and I do not like him for that reason. It would take a lot of me watching him play to start to root for him. Like, I would have to see a different side. Like, I don't get to see all the interviews that he does. I just get to see the ones that they pick and put on ESPN because he is acting like an idiot, or he's saying moronic things. So those are the ones I see. I don't get to see every game where they shove a microphone in his mouth and ask him how things went, if he's like congratulating teammates and all that kind of stuff and putting other people ahead of himself. I don't get to see that. So as of right now, I would much rather have Corey Seager as a Yankee shortstop than Carlos Correa. Much rather. Like, I don't want Carlos Correa anywhere near a Yankee uniform.
No. Okay, so we're in agreement on that. Thank goodness. He's just an awful person.
Yeah.
I hate him. I hate him so much, and I really hope. I mean, he's not. I don't know. I think he's smart in the sense that he has not dismissed the Yankees because, of course, he wants to use them for any leverage. That they'll only help drive the price up, especially when the Yankees have a need at that position. It's a perfect storm for him in that sense. And I'm sure his agent has been like, "Don't say anything stupid about the Yankees, you dumb asshole. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. If anything,
wear that pinstripe jacket.
wear your blue Navy jacket. And take a selfie with Madison Square Garden behind you. I mean, listen, it lit a fire under social media. People were talking about it, and I don't know. What scared me the most though was going on to. So I follow in addition to John Boy, I follow Talking Yanks, which is like an offshoot of John Boy because John Boy's a Yankee fan.
I like John Boy. He's kind of funny. I like his.
Oh, he's funny.
Yeah.
No, he's great. I love his breakdowns of when he puts the the audio,
Yes.
like he tells you what the players and the umps are saying and the managers. That's great. That's great theater. But he also has this like Talking Yanks offshoot, and so they had posted that picture, and what disturbed me was the amount of people in the comments who were like, "Can't wait for him to be a Yankee. He's going to look great in pinstripes." So this is like the amount of Yankee fans that are actually okay with that really disturbed me. I just don't know how could you in good conscience as a Yankee fan boo that guy mercilessly when he came into New York recently and then love him the next year. I have a problem with that. And again, I think it helps the fact that a guy like Seager is also available. That makes it. But even if Seager wasn't available, I would still be in the same position of saying, I don't want Carlos Correa on this team. Fuck him. Screw that guy. Screw that guy. The Yankees might very well not have a championship in 2017 because of him. No, fuck him. Absolutely not. And let me tell you, man, the last 5 years would have been a lot more palatable if the Yankees had won in 2017. They really would have. So, no, fuck Carlos Correa. Stay in Houston. Just stay there. Although I guess the Astros made an offer to him that was like, I forgot what it was, X amount of years and $160 million. It was like, okay, he's not going to be an Astro. That's probably half of what he wants. So that's not happening. It was his qualifying offer, which I'm sure he laughed at. By the way, I heard Justin Verlander is throwing for people maybe today.
Oh, really?
Today or tomorrow or sometime this week, I think he's throwing. And I guess the Yankees will be in attendance. I can imagine. I can understand that. Even though I don't want him on the Yankees either. Prick. I mean, he's got that ridiculously hot wife of his, but whatever. Fuck that. I don't need to see her in Yankee Stadium either.
All right.
All right, week 10.
Let's get into week 10. I'm trying to find a good game of the week.
Yeah, I am too. I'm kind of at this point leaning towards. Oof.
I mean, is Vikings
maybe
Chargers?
Vikings at Chargers. That's kind of the one I was looking at.
I mean, 4-4 versus 5-3.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's not what you want.
No.
That was my first instinct. Was that?
Yeah. I mean, it's either that or I would say Cleveland and New England.
Browns Patriots. Yeah, Browns Patriots is. I mean, I don't want to do that just because my God, that sounds like a horrifying game. But
yeah,
that is a
5-4 versus 5-4.
Well, Browns Patriots is sort of the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, right? I mean, you've got the Patriots and their stout defense against the Browns and their spectacular offense. So it's an interesting game. I would say it's between that or Vikings Chargers. To me, Vikings Chargers is more sexy because it's just a lot more offense.
More people are gonna know around here are gonna know about the Patriots game, but I can't. But first of all, I can't believe the Patriots are 5-4.
Yeah.
But the Browns, I mean, they're 5-4 too. I don't know. What do you think? Want to flip a coin or something?
Let's
flip a coin.
Well, I mean, we'll just talk about both games anyway. But
flip a coin.
All
Heads, right. Cleveland. Tails, Chargers.
All right, tails.
Chargers game.
Okay, good.
All right,
good. But we'll still talk about Browns. So what are the 3 games we'll do this week? Thursday football, Ravens, Dolphins.
Well, we have 4 because we got the Monday Night Football game tonight.
Oh, right. Yes.
Right. So let's see. Minnesota at Chargers. I still call them the San Diego Chargers all the time.
It's hard not to.
I was in the car talking with Cam about it, and I was like, I still call them San Diego. It's like, they're not San Diego anymore. But
San Diego.
Wales Vagina Chargers. That's what they played like. That's what they have been playing like sometimes. I can't believe some of the games that they lose. That's just, it's just the NFL. All right, let's get into Monday Night Football tonight. Who do you got? Bears at Steelers. I got the Steelers pretty big. At 23-13 Steelers. I think they'll I don't trust the Bears offense. The Steelers defense. What did you give her score?
23-13. I just can't see the Bears being able to sustain any kind of really good offense tonight against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Steelers will be up for Monday Night Football. The Steelers are kind of, what are they? They're what's their record right now? They are 4-3. It's kind of a game they need against a 3-5 sort of flailing Bears team. They are favored by 7 points. Yeah, and I actually, if I were to pick, I would. Well, at 23-13, I would have them covering. Yeah. So I actually have the Steelers as well. I have them 24-18, so I do not have them covering. Okay. But I do have it as a little bit closer of a game. But that's what I have. I have them at 24-18. And it's a game that I just don't trust the Bears offense is basically what it comes down to. I think if they're going to score, they're going to have to put some pressure on the quarterback and make him make some mistakes. And that has happened this year. So that could happen. But I just feel like the Steelers are just a better team. So I'm just going to go with them 24-18. All right. Next one is the Ravens at Dolphins. I'm sorry. Whatever the Ravens are picked to win by, I would double it. They will absolutely cover this spread. 7.5. Oh yeah. They'll win by 15. So I have the Ravens winning 30-20. All right. It's just the Ravens are a better team. The Dolphins have been not very good this year. I feel like this is. That's a nice way to put it. I'm trying to be nice. They were awful yesterday. Awful against the Texans. Now, granted, Jacoby Brissett was quarterbacking, and despite what some Dolphin fans think, Jacoby Brissett is not a better option than Tua. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who plays this game. It doesn't matter if it's Tua. It doesn't matter if it's Jacoby. Jesus Christ, would not be able to survive behind this offensive line. So I will have to go 34-15. 34-15. Ravens, a 19-point drubbing. And also, historically speaking, the Dolphins just get killed by the Ravens. Look it up. Go back a few years. It's ugly. Playoffs, regular season, it's ugly. It's like the Bills as of late. Every time we play you guys, we score like 7,000 points. If there was like one team that owns another, like just significantly in the past 10 to 15 years in NFL history, oh my God, it is the Ravens owning the Dolphins. It's just, it's pitiful.
Nice. All right. Then we have Sunday Night Football. This one's up to you. Chiefs at Raiders. We have... It's not... I mean, so it doesn't sound like a good game, basically because the Chiefs aren't playing that well, but it's a 5-4 versus a 5-3 team. Yeah. So this would have been the game of the week
for the Raiders. Bad loss. You can't lose to the Giants, even on the road. Sorry.
Right, yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, but that's been happening this year. Good teams, like the Bills just lost to the Jags. So it's been happening. It happens every year in the NFL. You lose to teams that you definitely shouldn't, and that just, is what it is.
This is a tough game because I just don't.
2.5 points.
Chiefs.
Go ahead.
Who's favored?
The Chiefs are favored by 2.5.
I don't trust the Chiefs right now.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I could at least say about the Raiders is that they're relatively consistent. I mean, yes, again, they lost yesterday to a bad. It's not like they got blown out. I just don't try. God, it's hard to trust the Chiefs right now, man. They just don't have it together. Mahomes is just not the same guy. That offensive line is not good. They have very little running game to speak of. And even Kelsey and Tyree, and even yesterday against a Rodgers-less Packers team, they only put up 13 points and looked like shit doing it.
Mm-hmm.
On the road, I just can't trust them against a decent Raider team. So I'm gonna go Raiders here, I guess, in a mild upset special. Just 24-16.
Raiders.
Yeah.
24-16.
I can't trust the Chiefs right now.
Well, I am waiting for them to click. I'm waiting for the Chiefs to click. I thought it might happen this coming week, but I think the more time that goes along, I feel like the more time you're giving Patrick Mahomes the chance to actually make it click. I think the running game will get a little better as the time goes on. I feel like having Ingram, is going to help over the course of the year. I think there's just a lot of things that are going to help this team. And I feel like there's only with a quarterback that talented, it's only a matter of time before it starts to click and he starts to get his teammates just start playing better. Like there's less drops and tips in the air and balls getting flared around and getting intercepted and all that kind of stuff. And plus, the Green Bay Packers didn't have Aaron Rodgers, but they still have a decent defense. They are not a bad team. So yeah, I'm not like totally surprised at the outcome that they didn't score more points because it's going to be tough to score good points, a lot of points against, good teams. All the time. So, and even though that we're used to seeing, him put up 30 to 40 to 50 points in a game, but either way, I have the Chiefs winning 30-24. I have them starting to click and hopefully getting the dub here and really getting them set on the right track.
Yeah. Also, by the way, if you're a Packers fan, all the more reason you should be pissed at Aaron Rodgers because if he's playing yesterday, they win.
Probably.
And probably easily. Because I don't know if anybody watched the Jordan Love debacle, but holy shit, he didn't even look like he belonged on a football field.
And that's going to make Aaron Rodgers even happier, which is
sure
really, really unfortunate.
Right. It gives him just so much more leverage. But like but then you could flip it right back around and you could say, boy, this is what Aaron Rodgers got bent out of shape over. Jordan Love.
Yeah.
You got all pissed off about that.
That's why he was pissed because they were like, this guy's trash. Why are you going to,
No, he was pissed because they thought they were Brett Favre-ing him.
Right.
Or I should say Aaron Rodgers-ing him.
With trash.
The Packers did. The Packers did to Brett Favre, with
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
With Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they did to Aaron Rodgers what they did to Brett Favre.
Right.
And
happens all the time.
It does. Sorry, that's called the succession plan in the NFL.
I mean, look what happened to Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah. Next man up? Yeah. Oh, shit. The next man up happened to be fucking Superman. Oh, God. That sucks. I mean, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
And I hate that asshole, but...
Yeah. Just, it is what it is.
Tom Brady is fucking... He is either killed Father Time or he is Father Time.
It happened to... oh, my God. Why can't I think of his name now? He's got the birthmark on his face.
Oh, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. It happened to Drew Brees, too, in San Diego. He hurt his arm, and then he ended up leaving. And then Phillip Rivers came along. And granted, he didn't win, but he was a freaking Hall of Fame quarterback for years.
You said Will's vagina wrong, but that's all right. I'll allow it.
I said Wales. All right.
So wait, should we? I mean, we don't do another game, but
no.
Do you want to do Browns Patriots just to throw it in there?
No.
That's an intriguing game.
No. I hate it.
Just ignore it.
Nope. I hate it. I'm ignoring it and pretending it's not happening.
I hate it.
We are going to, and that is the Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Chargers, the Wales Vagina Chargers
of Anaheim.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Chargers of Anaheim.
So
curiously bad 3-5 Vikings against the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde 5-3 Chargers.
Yes.
Who held on yesterday for a win over the Eagles. A not good Eagle team, by the way.
Yes. All right. So our game of the week is not necessarily a great game, but
it should have
3-5 versus 5-3. And I mean, I guess it's not that great because I'm picking the Chargers. They're at home. I love Herbert. Their team in general they have a tremendous offense.
A lot of firepower.
And I just can't see them losing this game. Kirk Cousins, as mediocre as he is, he can have some big games, but ultimately he's like your, average quarterback who's going to throw for like 250 and have a touchdown and a pick. And that's pretty much it. That's just who he is. And I just can't see him leading this team to a victory against the Chargers in Los Angeles. So I'm going to go with the Chargers taking this one. The spread is 2.5, I believe. Chargers are favored. I have them going to win 34-28.
Okay. Well, we have a similar difference then in terms of points because I've got them winning 30-24.
Okay.
So both of us by 6. Yeah, I think it's not a good. I'd probably still pick the Chargers even if they were on the road in Minnesota. I just don't love this matchup here. I just feel like the Chargers are just a better team, and they'll put points up on the board. Minnesota's defense isn't not good.
Wordness to the turdness. All right. We are pretty much on our way out here now. But before we go, those were our picks for Week 10. But we have a little bit to talk about right before we go, and that is the movie Free Guy and Vacation Friends. Brightman saw it this past weekend, and
I watched both. Yeah,
I personally really enjoyed Vacation Friends. I thought that the trailer was better than the movie.
The trailer was better than the movie,
but the movie was good. It was well worth the watch, and I will end up watching it again at some point. John Cena is incredible. He's incredible in every movie he's in.
He really is. I mean,
incredible. He is a better. I will say this on record. I find him more entertaining in movies than The Rock.
Yeah,
The Rock is huge, and he has some good wit to him. But I feel like John Cena captures a different comedic, and he's got better comedic timing.
He might.
And that's not saying like any slight against The Rock because Dwayne Johnson, he is great.
Biggest fucking star in the world.
But John Cena is
the biggest star in the world.
You would have to say John Cena is underrated, because I find him absolutely amazing. He was great in the Suicide Squad. He was great in what's that movie with the parents?
Cock Blockers.
Yes, he's great in that. He's great in Vacation Friends. He was great with Amy Schumer.
Cock Blockers. Yeah. I think it's just Blockers.
Yeah. He's great with that movie with Amy Schumer, Trainwreck. He is great in everything. I have never seen a bad movie that he's been in.
I'm telling you right now, man. I'm gonna will it to happen. I'm gonna get that fucking Tango and Cash with him and The Rock. I'm telling you right now. Every year I'm gonna keep pushing that tweet out, and one of these years it's gonna fucking catch before they get too old. It's gonna catch.
It's a good movie. It was a fun movie. Go ahead. What's your rating for the Vacation Friends?
So Vacation Friends, I have the same rating for both of these movies. I'm giving both of them an 8 out of 10. Cinnabros 8 out of 10.
I think that's what I gave Free Guy, right? That's probably.
I love Free Guy. Free Guy had so much heart, man. That was a fun movie. It was just first of all, it was very original, very different.
Yep.
you know,
Sure.
inside a video game where like the AI basically becomes like a living organism sort of thing. I mean, it was just a cool concept.
It was.
It was a cool concept. Like, and there's a lot of, I don't want to go like too overly dramatic or too deep with it, but there's a lot of sort of cool, I think, underlying messages in that movie about like, you know, Ryan Reynolds just, okay, yes, he's this sort of bot in a movie, in a game, but he's like, there's more out there. Like,
look at that.
I want something else for myself. You know what I mean? And I just liked it. I liked the message, and I liked the originality of it. It's a good flick. And Vacation Friends is just stupid fun. I mean, just stupid fun, and I loved it. And Cena was great. And yes, to your point, his comedic timing is just amazing. The supporting cast was great. I liked everybody in it. The woman who plays his girlfriend and then amazing. You know, fiance wife, she's just hilarious.
Yes.
She was hilarious.
The whole thing was great. I even got the Cinebros rating on the screen.
Nice. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I enjoy both. Both of them getting an 8 out of 10 from me.
Excellent.
Feeling generous this morning.
8 out of 10. I think both are deserved. I think I probably gave Vacation Friends probably like a 7 or 7.5.
Still, it's just funny. Yes, I will agree. Like, Vacation Friends had one of the best trailers because they really put all the funny shit in the trailer.
Yeah.
But like, you know.
It got me so hyped for it.
I loved Cena's character though. He just like kept surprising you at like every turn. Like the whole thing with the golf, I'm like, oh my god, Shane must have loved the golf part where he drives the green on the 18th.
I did that. I did that yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. But it just like Cena's character just had like a backstory for everything. Like there was a purpose behind everything with him, you know? I mean,
everything you touch turns to drugs.
I mean, I was just gonna say, except for the cocaine on the margaritas, everything else had like an interesting backstory. Like the cocaine part seemed a little out of character for him, but it was still hilarious.
Yeah, that was my favorite line in the whole movie.
He was just a doofus who liked to have a good time.
Yeah. So good. So great. Oh, it was amazing. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for our show. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next Monday and hopefully to talk about a little bit more. And we'll see you in about 7 days. You can find me on Twitter at @EinhardisFinkel. Find us the show at Shane and Bryman on Twitter. Find it on Facebook at facebook.com/Shane and the Bryman.
You can find me on Twitter at _Bry_man. And in the words of the great immortal Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end, but we'll be back next Monday. So until then, stay classy, Planet Globe.
Peace. That was like aggressive. Sorry.
It was. It didn't sound peaceful.